Hello and welcome to Module 4 Part 2, how to configure your site. This is getting online one step at a time with Harry Parker. We're going to go over some really fast and simple stuff to configure your new WordPress site. This is something that everybody needs to do as soon as they open up their WordPress site for the first time. Some basic stuff, real fast. You need to be logged into your WordPress site and at your dashboard. And this is what your dashboard looks like when you first install. If you don't know how to get there, if you're somewhere else, up at the top left you'll see dashboard. Hit it and it will bring you right to the dashboard. First thing we're going to do is change users. This is just a security issue. As you can see, this shows all users, and I have mine up here and I want to go through a little bit. You want to make sure that your username is not admin. Now, if it is admin, and then just go ahead and create a new user and then unlog in, log back in as the new user, and then delete that one. Now, if it looks like mine, then you're fine, but we definitely want to go over the users just so you understand. So you can see I click edit there, and basically you want your username to be, it's part of your password sequence. So make sure that you have capitals and lowercase in there, and I would even say use a number. Okay, once you create a username, as you can see, you can't change it, but you always can create a new user and then delete this one. So you are able to change it by creating a new one, and then fill this whole thing out. If this is not filled out, fill it out. So I've got my full name in there, and then here the nickname is very, very important because this is gonna be your author name. So I'm just gonna put my full name here, and then where it says display name publicly, I don't want to display my username because I just gave hackers, I just gave them my username. That would not be smart. So I'm gonna go ahead and give me a nickname, which is my full name, and I can make another one too. There's HP. Let's just go with HP. I mean, they're not going to figure out that the Harry is, my username when this is all that's going to be shown. And if you look up here to the right, you'll see this area right here. See, that is my username, right? Well, that's going to change when I do my nickname. So make sure your email, you've got the right email in there. I put my website address. And definitely put something about yourself. Awesome internet partner. And then you can change your password in here. And if you've made any changes, click update profile. And then look up here to the right. See how it changed it? So I'm hiding my username. Very, very key. You do not want your username to be admin. Okay, with that done, let's go ahead and go straight into settings. And the first thing that we're going to do is go to general. All right. And we are going to change the tagline. So you can see the site right here in general settings. We can change the site title. That's the one that will be posted on your site. So this is test blog. And I'll change this. The name of the site is just, we can change that right now, Harry's Test Blog. You can change this as many times as you want. And here's the tagline. No, a lot of people go around and they don't change this. Okay, that's crazy. Let's put my test blog for all my friends. And if you notice down here, these are the ones that we changed in the other tutorial. So yours should look something like that. And then make sure you've got your email address that you want to use, and this is just used for admin purposes like new user notification. I don't let anybody register. And then you want to set your time, however you want your dates and stuff. And then I like going to up here. See, I'm on the East Coast now, so I'm going to go scroll up to America, and I'm going to put, I think New York is here. and there it is. Boom, I've got that situated. My week starts on Mondays. Save changes, and that's done. Okay, the next one is going to be writing. We're going to go back over to here to the left side on writing. And we look up and size the post box. We can leave that. I like having this checked. Convert icons to emoticons. That takes a little smiley face and makes it like a real little smiley face. Default category, you can leave it as uncategorized. Default post, you can see you can like your default post. So if you do a lot of photo stuff, it might be gallery, but you're going to keep that as standard. And then your default link category is blog roll because we only have one. That's it. That's something else. You can study this a little bit. I haven't used this. It's kind of new. Press this. Kind of interesting. Haven't used it yet. Do not enter in. This is actually, if you don't know what you're doing with this stuff here and the remote publishing, it's very handy tools, but it's also a security risk. So don't put stuff in there unless you plan on using it and you've studied it. And then update your ping services. Right here is, you can see there's only one. Now on your handout, I have included a ping service for 2012. And look how many pings there are. And this is an awesome way to automatically, now all I'm going to do is copy this. And now the first one is always the same, so I'm just going to overwrite that. And you can see they're all in here. And the very top one was the same one. It's probably the most important one. And basically what happens when you make a post, your WordPress site automatically pings all these sites. So this really does help get your posts and your voice out into the world a little bit. It lets the world know that you made a post. Now, the downside on this is that the more you post, like say you work on a post and you're doing updrafts and you're redoing it and saving it and saving and saving it, it's constantly pinging these things, and that's not good either. But we do have a fix on that, and there's a plugin for that, and we'll get that done in the next video or two. But this is really nice to have this. Put that in there and click save. And moving right along, we're going to go to reading. And let's see, front page displays your related post. Now, say you had something really important, like a sales capture page or stuff, and this is all more advanced stuff, but say you wanted to make the front page of your website other than your blog. Well, then you could select static page and you could actually pick a page. Now, we don't have any pages or anything to pick, right? We don't have any select posts to pick, so we're just going to leave that as your latest post. Blog pages show at most 10. I usually start with 5 just to make it load faster. Syndication feeds, I leave that. And then I like to leave this at full text. Now, if you put it here in summary, basically when you make a post, when you go to your front page on your blog, it'll be just summaries of the, be the first couple lines of every blog post. But the downside on this is when you start using FeedBurner, which we're going to get into next, when you start using FeedBurner, it won't show pictures and stuff like that because you've got this checked as summary. So we're going to leave it as full text, and then we're going to use the read more option when we make a post, and we'll be learning about that. So no stress there. So these are the settings you want to start out with. Save changes. Then we're going to get into discussion. And if you look here, default article settings, see how these are all checked? These are awesome. These are ways to connect with other bloggers. Leave that. I like when other people comment, okay, when people comment, that's a big spam issue. So you want to make sure that comment, fills out the name and email for sure. Now, depending what you're doing, you also might want them registered and logged in. I would say leave that unchecked. And you can actually close comments on articles that are older than a certain amount of days that you specify, but we don't need to do that right now. And definitely have this. This is a new feature that they created, and these are nested comments, which means comments on comments, and it's a nice new feature. Then you can actually break the comments. We'll leave that undone. email me when anyone posts a comment or a comment is held for moderation. And this is good to start out with, but if you get really, really busy, you're going to want to uncheck these. So just so you know where they are. And here's another one. Before a comment appears, an administrator must always approve the comment. I check that, and comment author must have a previously approved comment. Now, as you move along and you start getting used to this, getting the feel for this, you can come back and then uncheck that. So if this is unchecked, if you approve someone's comment, they can comment again. Now, here's the downside. Some of the spammers are really good at making themselves look like a real comment. And once you approve them, you just gave them access to all the comments on your site, and they can just spam the living daylights at it. So I highly recommend that you have that one to start out with until you get used to it. And this is another one. It says comment moderation. Hold a comment in queue if it contains 2 or more links. And that's just spam. That's a real characteristic of spam. You can actually blacklist people here. And avatars. I like to show avatars. And we're going to go over that in coming videos, and then pick out who your audience is. If you're running a porn site, make sure you choose X. If you're going to be talking in dirty language, choose R or PG. I'm going to leave mine at G, and then I'm going to pick. I like Waveatar or Monster ID, so I'm going to pick this one, Waveatar, and basically it generates a picture for a commenter. If the commenter does not have a gravatar, then it will pick one for him, and we're going to get you a gravatar, so don't worry about that. And I highly suggest you get other people to do it too. So I'm going to go ahead and click changes there. We're going to move on to the next thing. Media, privacy. Let's just look at media real quick. This is where you can actually change the size of your images, like standard images. I'm going to leave that the way it is. All this stuff can be left the same way it is, and this is where all the stuff, like every time you upload something, this is where your media library is in uploads. That is on your server, which we showed you last night. So we didn't change anything. I'm going to go on to privacy. Of course, I want to be found, so we're not going to move anything like that. And then we're going to go straight to permalinks. Now, I've given you on your handout, I've given you a choice of what you can use. And this is the one that I particularly like here. I like the year and then the post name. Now, basically, if you didn't change this, up here, see this? This is what your, that's what your, the URL address of your posts or pages would look like. Okay? And if you pick day and name, or month and name, it's got the date and stuff. Year, oops, I don't want that. I want this. So basically, at the end of every post, the URL is going to be Harry Parker Online, right? And of course, for mine, it's going to be test site, and it's going to be /. Then it's going to have the year of the post, and then the actual name of the post. Now here you can use category, you can use ID, you can use a lot of different things. I tend to just start with year and post name, and there is a link on your handout to show you the instructions for this and all the different types that you can use in this custom structure. And once that's done, save changes, and that ends this module 4 part 2. Your settings. We just went through all the settings on your dashboard. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you on the next video.